welcome back to the Doctor and Duchess channel. Thank you so much for all of you that have liked, shared, and subscribed to our channel. I truly appreciate it. In this episode, many of you have voted on the topic submission, so we delivered. We actually recorded the very next day when you guys said that you wanted topics on submission. So here we are. We have two parts, so it's going to be part 1 and part 2. And like I said, it's more of a conversation. I am asking my fiance from his standpoint as a man, as a Nigerian man, what submission looks like to him. We've had this conversation before because before we started dating, I needed to know, what tip he was on just so we're on the same page. But anyway, so enjoy. Please, let's have a conversation about this. Comments what you believe, what you disagree, what doesn't work for you, what does work for you. It doesn't matter. I just want us to have a conversation so we can learn from each other, we can grow, and we can just become better wives, better fiancés, better girlfriend. Well, you don't need to submit when you're dating. Anyways, let's just become better women. How about that? This whole submission thing comes from the Bible, right?
Yeah.
The Bible calls the wife to be submissive.
Right.
So what does that mean to you? How do you interpret that verse?
In the grand scheme of things, following my lead.
Following your lead.
In the grand scheme of things, following my lead.
So you are the leader.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And what does it look like for you? Like, what do you envision it to look like for you?
I envision it looking like this is the plan we're going to do. If we say if we have a plan set in place, we're going to stick to that plan. No matter what bumps or humps we encounter, we're still going to finish the plan.
Okay.
Following my lead, trusting the plan, trusting what the plan is going to be. Okay.
So something you said earlier, you said we decide,
Yes.
to buy a house, for example. So like, how do you go from, like I guess who starts the, like, how do you get to we? You know what I mean? Like, did we both say this is what we want to do? Or was it like you said you wanted to buy a house and I said, okay, or I said I wanted to buy, you know what I mean? Like at what point do we come to one agreement? Because I feel like within that process, submission happens somewhere, somehow.
When it comes to we, it's in the cards of that, it's a conversation. You said you wanna buy your own house. Let's see, we said we have a 5-year plan. We want to buy our own house in 5 years. We need to lay down the foundation now. And with submission, it's like, Deanne, since we have agreed, you want to do it, I also want to do it. This is the plan. We need to stick as true to the T to get to that goal.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Follow my lead.
Gotcha.
No matter how you feel one day, no matter how you see, because you're going to see people get into that goal before we get there.
Right.
You're going to see people doing stuff, traveling, doing wherever you want to go. But you need to remember, we have a plan.
So
that's
I think,
what submission is.
right.
That's
So what I'm hearing you say is that it doesn't necessarily matter who, at least for you, this is what you envision or you feel submission, what it means to you. It doesn't necessarily matter who came up with the idea, as long as that idea is discussed and we're both on the same page, and then a plan is created from that and you take the lead on that plan. Am I hearing you correctly?
Sort of, yes.
Okay.
I agree to that. But there are some things that men have to just lead on.
Right.
And then you need to trust and believe me and trust that God is within me
Right.
to just be submissive and say, okay, let's do that. There are other things, which of course we're going to discuss. I can't buy a house without you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do certain things without you. But if I see that, for example, your car, this has to be done. You say, okay, that is, Ty, we'll get back to you. That has to be done. You see what I'm saying? Like things that, as our mentors have said, that men just have to do. Be submissive and just allow me to do it.
Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you take the lead without my input. Or does it?
There are some things that I will take the lead without your input.
Okay.
That you have to understand.
Okay. Like what?
I just said those things.
Like buying a house? Or you
No.
say you can't buy a house without
I'm
me?
saying
Okay.
car, other issues in the house, or whatever it may be. I don't know. We're not. I don't know.
Right,
We don't
we're
have
not
experience.
married,
We don't have
yeah.
that experience yet. But there are some things that you would just have to say, okay, I trust you. That's what we're going to do.
Okay, so let's talk about something, a form of submission that I felt recently happened to us.
Am I in trouble?
No, no, you're not in trouble. I just think it would be beneficial for us to make it real and as like,
Is it burning?
I don't think so. For us to make it as real as possible. So, with the whole wedding planning process,
Okay.
we talked about the finances of things, and you came up with an idea that will help us to save more money. Now, that idea will cause me extreme discomfort, and I explained that to you. I expressed it to you.
Yeah.
So you came up with the idea that will bring extreme discomfort to me. I expressed that to you, and I think this is where the submission comes into place, because I do believe there are other ways we can go about it. I do also believe, and I trust you in that you see, and I pride myself in seeing the big picture, but I think you see a much bigger picture than I do. So I'm legit, like, I see a big picture of what our family would look like, what, you know, but you see 20 years down the road.
Yes.
And that is why you suggested the plan that you suggested.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to submit to that plan because I see other solutions that won't cause me as much discomfort as your plan will.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having to literally say, okay, I'm trusting your plan, and cause me 1 year, 2 year of discomfort because I trust you. Not because I see what you're seeing, but because I trust you. And that's extremely hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. I told you this. It's extremely hard for me. But do you see that how submission fits in that?
Yes. No, I do. And I also, sorry to interject, I feel as if with that, in that regards, it's up to me to show you the picture as clear as possible so that you can kind of see what...
Show or like...
Or express.
Okay,
No, I can't show
okay.
because it hasn't happened yet. Sorry,
Right.
Wrong word.
Okay.
To express that big picture as much as possible so that he can bring your level of discomfort from you're here, I need you down here.
Okay.
There are pros and cons to both sides.
Right.
To yours, to mine. You know what I'm saying? All it is about now is deciding what plan we're going to do. And no matter how we feel about that plan, listen to me, we feel about that plan. No matter how I feel one day about it, no matter how you feel about it, you stick to that plan.
Because it's something we
Because
agree.
something we decided, and you fulfill that plan for the betterment of our future.
So, is there at any point, is there a chance to revisit the conversation at any point and like alter the plan a little bit?
This is how I believe men work
Okay.
and I work.
Okay.
Men do what we have to do no matter how we feel about it.
I know that's how you work for sure.
So it's very hard for me to say I don't like if you say you don't feel like it or you're not about it. I'm like, dude, finish it. This is it. Do it.
So if at any point I were to say, okay, you know, we're doing this, we're in this plan, and I get to a point that I'm like, I cannot do this anymore. I'm out. Like, not out of the marriage, but like out of this plan that we agreed on. How would you feel? Would you feel disrespected? Would you feel like I'm not a submissive wife or fiance? Like, how would you feel if it were to get to that point?